Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Nickerson and we're here at the Globe Life Field in Arlington. On this episode of Chasing Dreams, we're going to talk to the one and only Miss Texas Rangers herself, Emily Jones, who came from small West Texas to the big city of Dallas, Texas as a sideline reporter for the Texas Rangers. So don't go anywhere, you don't want to miss those episodes.
I'm gonna chase my dreams down this big open road. I'm not gonna stop till I find that open door. You might say I'm crazy, that I'm just wasting time, but don't you worry, 'cause it's not your dream, it's mine. It's mine.
Hi, Emily. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Sure.
And we're in your home. Miss Texas Ranger herself. So let's just start in this new amazing stadium. We were just talking about, it's a little smaller.
Yeah.
But it's magnificent. It's on the outside, the inside. What are some of your favorite things about it?
Well, I think my favorite thing is the air conditioning, obviously.
Oh
After spending
Yes.
the better part of 15 seasons covering this team in the brutal Texas summer, it's nice to not have to worry about sweating my rear end off every day when I come to work. So I love the AC. I love the fact that it goes more up than out. It's got more of an arena feel. It gets really loud in here, whether the roof is open or closed. And so I just think it's a great looking ballpark. I love the fact that we've been filling it up since day one.
Yeah.
And and the AC. That's it.
Well, I know you mentioned two babies came in the old stadium.
Yeah.
The heat of the summer. What are their birthdays?
So Henry's a trade deadline baby. He was born on July 31st of 2011 when we were making during that whole World Series run. And then Hattie was born in June of 2013.
Oh,
so
two summer babies.
two summer babies, and I worked with both of them right up until the day before I went into labor.
I cannot imagine. My birthday's July 29th. My mom still to this day every year reminds me of the torture I put her through being pregnant through the summer.
It's a lot.
Unbelievable. Okay, there's so much to talk about. We're gonna try to cram it all in. Let's go back to the beginning. Where are you from?
I'm from Plainview, Texas, which is a small town. I call it West Texas. It's not like far West Texas, but it's in between Lubbock and Amarillo. So that's where I grew up from the 4th grade until I graduated from high school.
So going to tech wasn't a hard transition.
No, not at all. My dad raised my sister and I was a huge daddy's girl, and I did not want to be far away. And so Lubbock was the perfect distance to get away a little bit, but not too far away.
And then you went straight into broadcast journalism.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the show is about chasing dreams. So when you were a little girl, did you want to go into broadcast?
Yeah, so probably about 7th or when I was like in 4th or 5th grade, I wanted to be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably 7th or 8th grade, when I started getting more into sports, I decided that I wanted to get into TV and I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
And what sport then caught your eye?
So at that point in time, it was college football was a big player. That was also too, my sister was a huge UT fan. And that was when Texas was making its, NCAA tournament runs. And so I was into college basketball. We were always into the Cowboys, followed the Rangers. My godfather is Mike Hargrove, who played for the Rangers for a while.
Oh, that's awesome.
Followed all like the traditional Texas teams, but mainly it was college football, college basketball, big into college sports.
So when you graduated from tech, what avenue, I know you were passionate about football, so that helped, but what avenue got you onto the college football circuit?
Well, so actually I was a news reporter for 2 years. When I graduated, I had interned at the NBC affiliate in Lubbock. And when I graduated, there were no openings in the sports department. There was an opening in the news department, and they offered me that job. And as much as I wanted to get into sports, I thought it was more important that I get those reps in front of the camera. And so I cut my teeth as a news reporter. I hated it. I didn't hate it. News is just not my jam.
Right.
And so at the first opportunity that I had to, move into the sports realm, it was definitely something I jumped at.
I went to DBU, and they had us shadow news anchors, and God bless them. That's great. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, no,
And
it was not for me.
I can't leave work at work. It comes with me. So
Yeah.
it's hard to separate some negativity and not bring it into your home, maybe. For me, at least, that would be hard. So jumped into sports in football. That's exciting. And now it's still, people call it a man's world, obviously, in sports. It's not as much now, but back then it probably was even more so. So how did you work through some of that?
Yeah, so I mean, that was 20 years ago when I moved into sports, 20 plus years ago. And so at that time, there weren't a ton of women in a lot of roles. But for me, I moved from news reporter to sports director, which at the time I was only the second woman at a major network affiliate in the country to serve in that role. And so I honestly was in over my head. I didn't know what I was doing. I was running a sports department. I was 23 years old. I was not qualified to do that job, to be quite honest with you. But I just kind of got thrown into the fire, and they saw something, in me that they thought might work. And so it was just baptism by fire. And,
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so I stuck with it. And of course, in Lubbock, you cover everything. You cover Texas Tech, you cover high school sports. We would dabble a little bit in Rangers or whatever, you cover those things on a kind of a from afar basis. And so, it was crazy the way that all happened. I did that for 4.5 years before I made the move to DFW.
Okay, so then you come here, and then, you're grinding away. Somewhere in there, you get married. And then obviously fast forward 2 kids. How do you, out of all the sports, baseball has the most games. So how do you juggle that?
Yeah, it's not easy logistically. I think when I was dating, when I was, early on in my career and I was dating, you have to find someone who has the patience for this job, because you do travel a lot, you're away a lot, you work nights, you work weekends. And so you have to really be sure that the person you end up with is legitimately going to be okay with this schedule, because ultimately you're going to bring little humans into this world. And it's not just about, I could leave my husband at any time. He can survive on a 10-day road trip without me. But when you throw some kids in the mix, it changes things up a little bit. So now it's just, we've kind of mastered the whole logistics aspect of it. It's a bit of a mess at times, but I fill out the childcare calendar every month and send it out to the army of people that help take care of our children. And, that's what we do. You make it work. And, so during the season, a lot of times my husband and I especially are like ships passing in the night, but we take time to reconnect, when I'm not working or during the off season and all that kind of stuff, and try to be there obviously as much as I can for the kids and their activities.
Well, and in following you on social media, your kids have a full life too.
Yeah.
It's awesome with school activities, sports activities, vacations. So it's awesome to see how, it's impossible, I'm sure, for some to be able to juggle the way you do and look so poised with it. And then following you,
please.
Let's talk about the upkeep as women, because I've been following your facials you've been getting and all of that kind of stuff. So you also make time for you as well.
Well, I want to take care of myself. Like, I remember someone asked me one time, like, do you feel like you're trying to be younger, be hotter or whatever, hot? And I'm like, I'm going to try to look my best.
Right.
I feel like hot's such a weird word, but and do you feel the pressure because there are youngsters, these young girls up and coming? Not at all. I would be that way if I didn't have this job or whatever. Like, I want to look good. I want to
let's talk about
feel
that.
good.
For all the women that watch and they're not on camera and they don't have to do any type of upkeep, but they do feel that pressure of these. There's always younger women. There's always prettier. How do you handle that? And what do you say to girls that have insecurities about
Well, I
looks?
don't even think it's like pressure. I think I just want to feel as good as I can about myself. Like, I have girlfriends that I get Botox. Like, I feel like I like the way I look better with Botox. If that's not your thing, that's not your thing.
Right.
I got a boob job after I had 2 kids because they wreaked havoc on my body. If you don't want to get a boob job, don't get one.
Right.
But I'm not ashamed of it.
Right.
I'm not ashamed of anything that I do. I get the Botox, I do the facials, I get the cryotherapy. All that kind of stuff, trying to, and it's not because I necessarily want to look better, but it is because if I feel good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All those things go into helping me feel good about myself. And I think that if that makes me vain, then all right, I don't care.
I know. And I grew up, I think I've been this size since I was in kindergarten. I think I was just born 5'9", basically. And so it's been hard. And when that comparison game can come in, like, I can't be 5 foot if I tried.
Right.
And I can't be petite if I tried. And so finding that place of happiness where you compare to yourself. That's what I try to do. Like, I compare to my best self.
Right.
I know what
absolutely.
you're saying too, because otherwise I'm not going to be the blonde girl. Anyone could do that for that matter. Anyone can be whatever they want to look like now with surgeries, but to be your best self, it's a win-win. I mean, you're happy
Yeah.
and you aren't trying to be someone you're not.
And if it's different for everyone,
Yeah.
right? Like I wouldn't tell everyone like go out and get Botox and a boob job and you're going to feel amazing. Like
Right.
that's not it. Like
Totally.
it's whatever makes you whatever
Makes you the happiest.
Yeah, I mean, and so that I do things that make me happy, that make me
Same,
feel good.
yeah.
And so I don't think there's
Totally.
anything wrong with that. I mean, to an extent, like I wouldn't go overboard or whatever, but I mean, to each his own, like do your own
Yes.
thing.
Well, yeah, and everyone knows internally, like you said, I could do everything you do and still feel empty on the
Oh, for sure.
inside, and or I could do all the same things and feel fulfilled. So finding that personal fulfillment. Now let's talk about in this role, bullying's a thing out there for. I mean, all the way down to I'm sure even younger than Hattie,
Mhm.
they're getting bullied. We're not exempt from that, and then you're on camera way more than I'm on camera, and people love to share their opinions about
yeah.
what you look like and what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. And how do you handle that? And how do you, and I know that you and I have probably more tougher personalities in a good way than most people, where we probably don't care as much about what other people think as a lot of people do. And it's sad that people care so much what other people think and are affected so much. To those people, what do you say? How do you encourage them?
Jumping into being a woman in a male-dominated field at 23 years old, and I mean, this was before. I mean, the only social media we had back then was message boards, and so people would completely roast me on message boards, and then it shifted to social media. So I feel like I kind of got exposed to that on that level, to where social media doesn't hit me so hard. And back then, people would write emails and they would write letters and all these kind of things. Make phone calls. It was crazy to tell you that they didn't like you or they didn't like your hair or
Well,
whatever.
and in following you, I remember you posting just comments that people made.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
sweaty and hot days, and
Oh,
people
yeah,
are
people are-
griping at you
oh, yeah,
about
they're
being
yelling at
hot
me
on
about my
102
hair.
degree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Now I laugh at it. Like I just think it's funny that like you seriously, you're taking time
Yes.
out of your life to tell me you don't like my hair or my outfit or why am I wearing a dress to a ballpark.
Well, and to that point, because I know I played in the dirt with the boys in my dresses as a little girl, and I've always wondered, I'm like, why? How do you have so much time to go off about what someone's wearing?
Why
and
does
what,
anybody care
yes,
about what I wear?
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I just always find it fascinating that people they'll make time to like
Yes.
actually sit down and type something and post it on their social media or tweet you or whatever.
Down to from younger than your kids' age all the way to our age. Like, what do you tell these girls that they do care? They want to be liked. 'Cause
And
that's hard.
that's where you have to, it's like as a mother, I have to instill the confidence in my kids whose opinion is valuable, that my opinion's valuable, that their father's opinion is valuable, their family and their close friends, those opinions are valuable. But we don't put value in, people who are trying to tear us down, people who are trying to be mean.
Right.
We're just that we don't value those people's opinions. We value them as human beings. We just don't value their opinions.
Well, you're lucky. I'm lucky that we have close people, family, whether church friends, school friends, family, whatever, that builds us up. But a lot of people don't. And I actually just got a message walking in here from a girl who was talking about insecurity issues from a family member that's really, made her struggle a lot. And so we are lucky in that way. And a lot of people are alone. I mean, their world, they can't just leave family. So now, also fast forwarding into your life and the busyness, you're involved with a wine company. I mean, you juggle so much. But even in that, I feel like that's such an awesome opportunity to have even another realm of sisterhood and friendships where, like, my friend that just texts me, we have a group of girls and it's really helpful. But that's some other places you can go outside of family.
Well, and not even just that. I want to be financially independent. At some point, I'm going to walk away from this gig. I don't know when that's going to be.
And you can hand it to me. I'll be ready.
There you go.
Thank you, Emily.
But whenever that does happen, I don't want to just rely on my husband for like a allowance. Like I'm out ski on that. So I've been, there's a few things that I've done to try to diversify my financial scene to where, I don't have to go ask for a weekly stipend from my husband. I want to have control over my financial scene. And so, and I tell women this all the time too, because I feel like there's such this stigma in direct sales. They're like, oh gosh, is your husband not doing well or whatever? I'm like, I'm trying to contribute financially to my family.
Right.
And, you know, and if that, I mean, I'm making money drinking wine, so I knock it if you want, but
And if people want to order, where do they go?
Working out real well for me. scoutandcellar.com/Emily Jones McCoy. It's a direct sales company. It was founded right here in Dallas. And it's the founder of our company. I love her mission and just her whole, Sarah Shadnick's is her name. She was an attorney and left behind the legal life to pursue this love of hers. And it's changed the way I view, you know, what I put in my body wine-wise. I wasn't about to give it up, but like, it's good.
It's a healthier version.
It's definitely.
But you're meeting people and you're adding friendship into other people's lives probably you wouldn't have had you not gone down that avenue.
That's been fun too, to kind of serve in a leadership role to where you've got people on your team that you can, you know, that you can help along the way and that you can, you know, hopefully change their financial scene. And that's a pretty empowering feeling, is to help someone that way.
And that's the thing, the empowering feeling, the confident feeling. There's other ways besides just being the prettiest person in the room. I mean, there's so many things, whether character, integrity, to the financial side, stability, all of that. And you do all of it. That's what's so amazing about you.
Well,
like,
there's
I know you're
some smoke and mirrors in there too, trust me.
I don't know. I mean, you're fun. You're for sure the life of the
Well.
party. But I know that you're one of my heroes. And so this is an awesome honor to sit here with you, to be able to talk about this. And then to kind of just wrap it all up, what is your dream was to do exactly what you're doing. So you're the epitome of what the show is for. So what is your encouragement all the way down to the 5-year-old watching TV, all the way to women our ages and older that maybe think it's too late about chasing your dreams?
You know what, to be honest with you, if you would have asked me 20 years ago, what's your dream job? This was not it. Like, I was not a huge baseball girl. My dream job at that point in time was like to be an anchor on SportsCenter. I can't think of anything worse right now than sitting behind a desk and reading from a teleprompter every night. But what happened was I kept my eyes open to different opportunities, and I allowed myself to step outside of my comfort zone in certain ways. And now, if you ask me what's your dream job, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine doing anything else. But it happened very organically. And so I think just allowing yourself to be open-minded to, you know, it's important to set goals, yes, but it's also important to see, you know, to see in those side view mirrors, to see what else is out there, to make sure that you're getting the full picture and you're not just so tunnel focused on one particular goal that you're not paying attention to what else is going on around you. And so I always tell young people, especially, like, the quicker you identify that ultimate goal and then start working your way back to reach that goal, the quicker you'll get there. But pay attention to what's going on, you know, kind of around you.
Well, you maximize opportunities, personal help to family. I mean, you maximize everything that life has, unlike anyone I've ever known, which is so inspirational, so life-giving to those that watch you. And it's cool to see just that you tap into everything. Like you just said, all your resources for the better good of just having fun too. I mean, that's what I think is so great, is that you can be serious, but you're so fun at the same time. And the best part is you really don't care what other people think. You're doing what's best and making the most of it. And I think that's what's the most fulfilling out of life, and probably why, you know, your life is the way it is. So anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's not like all daffodils and roses all the time, but
you're honest about that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I can be a mess just like anybody else, but it's also part of being, I think you reach a point in your life, or at least I hope everyone will, like, you just reach a point where you're just comfortable with who, like, this is just who I am. Like, and for better or for worse. And, you know, with all my warts and everything, I'm trying to be a good human. I'm trying to raise good humans. And, you know, after that, I can't make any promises, because stuff's probably going to go wheels off at some point. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And I know everyone's going to be inspired, encouraged, and who knows, maybe you'll get some new people selling wine after you as well.
Yes.
So
come
the
join
more the
me.
merrier.
Yeah,
So
cheers.
all right. Well, good luck tonight, and go Rangers.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chasing Dreams. You can follow Emily on Twitter at Emily Jones McCoy. You can follow her on Instagram at Emily Jones 1977. You can follow me at Jennifer Nickerson Official. And this has been a Grace Point Media production. So thank you again, and we'll see you next time.